Hello, everyone, and welcome to Jazz Therapy. This is Song Therapy, and I am Jessie. Well, today we are featuring the music of legendary Cuban American trumpetist Arturo Sandoval. Senor Sandoval had a birthday this past Monday, November 6th, and he's still alive. He is 74. So, the happiest of birthdays to Arturo Sandoval. I was investigating his life in music, and it was such a pleasure to take a deep dive into his music and get deeper acquainted with him. So, I want to talk a little bit about his life and a little bit about the song I chose for you today and what category of emotional listening and how this is going to be beneficial for you and for me when it comes to saying goodbye. Arturo Sandoval was born in Cuba in a small town outside of Havana on November 6, 1949. And he was born to a very poor family. He started playing the trumpet when he was 13. So it's pretty amazing that he's become such an incredible virtuoso, and he started at age 13. Now, he studied trumpet formally in school, and he went on to help found the Cuban National Modern Orchestra. And that really launched his career, and he started to tour and really became a star. Now, one of the most pivotal moments in his life was in 1977, and this is when he met another legendary virtuoso jazz trumpeter who we featured just a couple weeks ago because he had a birthday, Dizzy Gillespie. Now, Dizzy Gillespie is really credited with advancing bebop in the American lexicon of jazz. And also, he introduced Afro-Latino jazz and Latin jazz. He helped to do this to audiences as well. So, Dizzy Gillespie really became a mentor and a friend to Arturo Sandoval. And this relationship would become one that would really deeply nurture both of these incredible musicians. Now, in 1989, jumping 10 years ahead, Dizzy Gillespie asked Arturo Sandoval to become part of the United Nations Orchestra that Dizzy Gillespie was heading. And so Arturo Sandoval said yes. And when they were on tour, evidently in 1989 in Athens, Greece, Dizzy Gillespie helped Arturo Sandoval with his plan to defect from Cuba to the United States. The embargo was really still there, so they went to an American embassy in Greece and started this plan for Arturo Sandoval to come to the United States. And he eventually became a U.S. citizen on December 7th, 1998. Now, a really cool thing about Arturo Sandoval is he also has widely recorded, in addition to jazz like bebop and Latin jazz, he's recorded many classical recordings and played with some of the top orchestras in the world. So he really is a musician that can do it all: bebop, jazz, Latin jazz, and classical. And there's really not very many people that have that breadth and scope of talent. Another one that comes to mind is Wynton Marsalis, probably the best trumpeter in the world. He has recorded several incredible classical recordings, as well as his very wide body and prolific recording in jazz. So Arturo Sandoval is just really special and unique in that way. He's won multiple Grammys, and he was awarded in 2013 the Presidential Medal of Freedom by Barack Obama. So he's just all around super awesome. All right, so let's get to the song that I have for you today. This week I was listening to music, and again I was thinking about what song do I want to choose. And I think I told you guys before, I really feel like the song chooses me. First of all, it's a song that I just really love. It's beautiful and has swing. And so I heard this song and I thought, okay, this is the song. And the song I chose for you is the song Every Time I Say Goodbye, which is a classic jazz ballad. It's a Cole Porter tune. And this is from an album that Arturo Sandoval recorded in 2010 called A Time for Love. And this is a really cool album because there are many greats that he's recording with. Now, on this song, of course, Arturo Sandoval is playing the trumpet. and jazz pianist Kenny Barron is on piano. And I heard this song and I really started to deeply reflect on goodbyes and the nature of goodbyes, because there are so many goodbyes that we have in life. If you think about it on a daily basis, most of us say goodbye to our loved ones in the morning when we get up to go out into the world, to go to work, to go to school. We say goodbye to our partner, our romantic partner. If you're a parent, you say goodbye to your children, and drop off can be painful and sad. In my therapy practice, I'll do a session with a client, and then at the end of the hour we say goodbye. And sometimes, it's even in the form of talking to a dear friend on the phone. Of course, there's a goodbye, a denouement, and an end of the conversation. And there's often, sadness that goes along with these goodbyes. A goodbye can be like a little death. It's very painful to sort of end something that we're loving so much, that feels so good and so nourishing to us. And yet oftentimes when we say goodbye and we're able to do it in a heartfelt way and say, I'm going to miss you, or this was good, and it's hard to stop, and yet we have to end. I also will find myself then going into a place of gratitude, gratitude that I have this person in my life, that we were able to work together. If it's, a family member, a dear friend, just gratitude that they're even in my life and I have this connection. And goodbyes can be intense. They can be really sad. And then sometimes there are final goodbyes, such as when, someone is passing away or dying, and we might not even get a final closure to sort of say goodbye. So this song, every time I say goodbye, it really encapsulates what it is to say goodbye in these myriad forms. And of course, Arturo Sandoval and Kenny Barron make art with it. This song is so gentle and beautiful, and yet it is so deep. Embodied in this song is the ache of what it is to say goodbye to a loved one. There's a lightness to it, and there's a sadness to it as well. And yet the fact that the song encompasses all these feelings and is reflected back to us, I feel like my feelings are emotionally held in this way of like, okay, yes, this is what it's like to say goodbye in a musical form. It's beautiful, it's sad. When we can be as open-hearted as possible about it, that's the best way, because then we can also experience the gratitude that comes with, the person that we're saying goodbye to, just that it's so wonderful that they're even there in our lives. So this song really just kind of helped me this week as I was thinking about saying goodbyes in the various capacities that we do. My friend Miguel kind of helped me think of this idea. So Miguel, thank you so much. I love you dearly, and it was super helpful for you to share that. So I hope you can just take this song in. I would put this song in the category of emotional dwelling. And this is when we want to listen to a song to mirror our mood. And my mood would be just the spirit of saying goodbye. I would also put it into the category perhaps of emotional soothing, that, goodbyes can be difficult, and yet it's so good to face them and not try to avoid them. I know I can be avoidant at times because it's painful to say goodbye. So emotional soothing. So I hope this song is some song therapy for you, and maybe generate some reflection in terms of how you say goodbye to people in the small ways and big ways and on a daily basis, and what this is like. And that the beauty of Arturo Sandoval and Kenny Barron here is just in your heart and with you deeply. Thank you so much for listening. Again, happy birthday to Arturo Sandoval. I will say I saw him perform once at Yoshi's in Oakland, and he was absolutely marvelous. He talked about his relationship with Dizzy Gillespie, and the love that he had for Dizzy Gillespie just emanated out of him in the way that he talked about him. Arturo Sandoval was charming and funny and passionate, and he is just marvelous. So happy birthday, and thank you for your contribution to jazz. And may jazz therapy soothe your soul.